Welcome to Dagoddess ASMR. Hey, let's go ahead and cleanse you so that we can get in a relaxing mood. So I'm using rosemary, sage right now to cleanse you of any kind of negative energy that you could be holding on to right now. It smells so good. And just cleansing myself so my energy doesn't affect you. And for this session, I thought that it would be a really cool thing if I read you bedtime stories. I think that would be very relaxing. So I have a couple of books here that I'm going to read to you. We may not get through all of them, but the first one is Little Bill, A Rainy Day to Remember. And I think you guys would like this. Okay. A rainy day to remember. Okay. And this is by Kitty Frost. Plink, splink, a dink. Little Bill opened his eyes. What's that sound? He wondered. He hopped out of the bed and pulled back the curtains. Raindrops were bouncing off of the window, and the sky was a dull, dark gray. Oh no, said Little Bill. It can't be raining, not today. Little Bill's mother came into the room. Good morning, baby, she said. Did you sleep well? Mama, it's raining, said Little Bill. I'm going to the park with Andrew today, he continued. We're going to sail boats on the pond and play dinosaurs and build a super high sand fort. It can't rain today. Little Bill's mother put an arm around his shoulder. I'm sorry, baby, she said. You and Andrew will have to play inside today. But there's nothing to do here, said Little Bill. I'm sure you'll think of something to do. You'll just have to use your imagination, his mother said. How about we start with breakfast? Alice the Great is making your favorite pancake people. Little Bill joined his sister April and his brother Bobby at the kitchen table. His great-grandmother, Alice the Great, put a plate of pancakes in front of him. Here you go, honey. I made their heads extra big, just the way you like them, she said. Little Bill poured syrup on his pancakes and began pushing them around his plate with his fork. Bobby looked over and pointed at one of them enormous heads. Hey, Little Bill, that pancake looks a lot like an alien, Bobby said. Wow, said Little Bill. You're right. In a blink of an eye, Little Bill's plate turned into a spaceship, and the pancake people became real, live aliens. Little Bill imagined himself flying the spaceship through outer space. "We're coming in for a landing," called Captain Little Bill. "Oh no, look out for that lake." Sploosh! Little Bill's spaceship skidded through a giant lake of syrup, and it came to a sticky stop. Little Bill giggled and took a bite of his pancake. These aliens are delicious," he told Alice the Great. After breakfast, Little Bill went to his room and waited for Andrew. "I still wish we could play dinosaurs today," he thought to himself. Suddenly, an idea came to him. "Hey, I can make a picture of a dinosaur," he exclaimed. "Roar, roar," he growled as he drew. "I'm a giant rhinoceros. My voice is like thunder." April walked past Little Bill's room. "That's a great drawing, Little Bill," she said. "You should show it to Mama." "Good idea," said Little Bill. He ran downstairs, carefully holding his drawing. Little Bill found his mother in the laundry room, putting clothes in the dryer. A pile of sheets sat on the washer. He had another idea. "Mama, can I make a fort with those sheets?" he asked. "Yes, you may, Little Bill," his mother answered. Little Bill carried the sheets and his drawing into the living room. He leaned the rhinoceros against the sofa and draped the sheets over some chairs. Just then the doorbell rang. Andrew and his mother stood on the steps. "Why, come on in, Andrew," said Alice the Great. "Take off those wet things." Andrew took off his boots and his jacket. "Where's Little Bill?" he asked. Little Bill burrowed inside of his sheet fort. "Hey, Andrew," he called. "Bet you can't find me." Andrew ran over and peeked under the flap. "Hey, Little Bill," he said. "Too bad it's too wet to go to the park." Little Bill nodded. "But I built a really neat fort in here, and it's nice and dry inside," he said. "Yeah," said Andrew. "It's really neat." Andrew threw a sheet over his head and waved his arms about. "Look, Little Bill, I'm a ghost. Ooh," he said in a spooky voice. Little Bill giggled. He wrapped a sheet around himself like a robe. "Yeah, and I'm the king," he said. "We have to save the kingdom from the terrible rhinoceros." Andrew pulled the sheet off his head. "I can jump in and scare the rhinoceros away," he said. "Me too," said Little Bill. "Let's save the kingdom," they shouted. A while later, Little Bill's mother peeked into the room. "The rain stopped," she said to the boys. "Who wants to go to the park?" Little Bill and Andrew looked at each other. "Mama, can we stay inside?" Little Bill asked. "We still have lots of stuff to do here." His mother smiled. "Of course, Little Bill. You can stay inside as long as you like." So Little Bill and Andrew played and played until they saved the whole kingdom. It was a rainy day they'd never forget. The end. So, I hope that helped bring a little bit of love to your inner child. So I'm just gonna rub your face right now to give you a little bit of comfort. The next book that we're going to read is Pooh's Neighborhood. So just relax and let your inner child be loved on a little bit more, okay? "I say, it's a splendid day in the neighborhood," said Al. "It is a nice day here too," said Winnie the Pooh. "Exactly what I'm saying," said Al. "A perfectly splendid day in the neighborhood." "Which neighborhood are you talking about?" asked Pooh. "Neighborhood," said Al. "Our neighborhood is a place where we live and where all our neighbors live and are neighborly." "Oh," said Pooh, "it is a splendid day in it, isn't it?" "Quite," said Owl. "Now I'm off for an owl's eye view." He flew up and circled once around Pooh's house. "What does it look like from up there?" called Pooh. "I can see the 100-acre wood spread out below me," said Owl, "and it's a fine place indeed." As Owl flew off, Pooh began to think about what it means to live in a neighborhood, and he thought perhaps he would bring a neighborly present to his closest neighbor, Piglet. He took a honey pot out of his cupboard and tied a nice blue ribbon around it. Pooh is so cute. Oh, okay. Then he tucked it comfortably under his arm and stumped down the path towards Piglet's house. But when he reached his thoughtful spot, which is halfway between his house and Piglet's, Pooh suddenly had a thought. "I could take this path straight to Piglet's house, or I can go up the path and around the whole neighborhood. And sooner or later, the path will take me to Piglet's house anyway." And that is what he did. I have to show you the picture. Look at how cute he is. Oh my gosh, he's really thinking hard. After he walked for a time, he came to the house where Kanga and Roo live. "Hello, Kanga," said Pooh. I'm just on my way to deliver this neighborly present to Piglet. But, Pooh dear, Piglet lives that way, said Kanga, pointing down the very path by which Pooh had came. Yes, said Pooh, but today I'm going the long way. Oh, I see, said Kanga. In that case, perhaps you should join us for a snack. Come on, Pooh, cried Roo. We're going to the picnic spot. Pooh said he was feeling a bit 11 o'clock-ish. 11 o'clock-ish. So, they all went together past the sandy pit where Roo plays, up to the picnic spot to share a little something. Half an hour and one picnic basket later, Pooh thanked Kanga and tucked Piglet's honey pot back under his arm and stumped down the path towards Rabbit's house. Hello, Rabbit, called Pooh. I'm on my way to Piglet's to give him this neighborly present. If you're going to Piglet's house, what are you doing here? Asked Rabbit. I'm going the long way, said Pooh. More like the wrong way, if you asked me, said Rabbit. But since you're here, would you mind taking these carrots to Christopher Robin? I promised he'd have them in time for lunch. Well, at the mention of the word lunch, Pooh noticed his tummy was feeling just the tiniest bit rumbly. I'd be happy to, he said. With carrots in one arm and the honey pot in the other, he walked along until he came to the place where the stepping stones crossed the stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, he counted as he teetered from one stone to the next. 8 or 9 of Rabbit's friends and relations heard Pooh and peeked out of their windows and doors. Pooh shouted, "Hello!" Rabbit's friends and relations waved. Pooh marched across the open slopes of heather and steeped up the banks of sandstone until, at last, tired and hungry, he arrived at Christopher Robin's door. Why can't I say Christopher? Oh, my carrots, cried Christopher Robin happily. Thank you for delivering them to me. It seemed the neighborly thing to do, he said Pooh proudly. Would you like to join me for lunch? Christopher Robin asked. And Pooh said, well, I really am on my way to Piglet's to bring him this present, but I don't see why I couldn't stop just for a little while. After lunch and a longish snooze, Pooh was back on his way. He walked down the path through the little pine wood and climbed over the gate into Eeyore's gloomy place, which was where Eeyore lived. Hello, Eeyore, said Pooh. I was just on my way to Piglet's house. This is with this neighborly present. Not coming to visit me, said Eeyore. I didn't think so. It's been such a busy week already. Why, only 4 days ago, Tigger bounced me on his way to the swimming hole. How many visitors can you expect, really? And Pooh, feeling rather badly now, offered Eeyore a nice lick of honey. Pooh opened the jar, and Eeyore peered in. He looked back at Pooh. Pooh peered in. Empty, he said. That's what it looks like to me, said Eeyore. Oh, bother, said Pooh. He stumped off glumly, trying to think how he was going to tell Piglet about the neighborly present that he wasn't going to get. Pooh had almost arrived at the place where the woozle wasn't, and was deciding to take the long path around it, just in case the woozle was, when he saw Owl flying over. I've seen our whole neighborhood today, Pooh told him, but now I have no neighborly present left for Piglet. And the bees have been quite busy at an old bee tree lately, said Owl. Perhaps you can get a fill up there. That's a good idea, Owl, but it's such a long way, sighed Pooh. Come along, said Owl. We'll take the shortcut through the woods. So they walked together until they came to an open place in the middle of the forest. And in the middle of the place was the old bee tree. Pooh could hear a loud buzzing near the top. Up, up, up he climbed. Go higher, called Owl, past the bees to the very top of the tree. Now look all around. What do you see? The 100-acre woods spread out below him. Our neighborhood, cried Pooh. Our beautiful home. That's the Owl Eye's view, said Owl. Oh, I can see Piglet's out sweeping his walk, said Pooh. Looks like he could use some company. So Pooh filled up the honey pot once more, and he and Owl went to Piglet's house for supper. The end. I love you, and I hope that your inner child got to have a little bit of fun.